Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Chad and I'm with American RV in Evansville, Indiana. Today we're going to talk about buying a used RV and the things that you need to check before you hand over your hard-earned money on a used camper. Not all dealers are honest, and not all private parties are honest either. And sometimes people just don't know the problems their campers have. So in this video, we want to take some time and walk you around some of the areas on the RV that you definitely need to check and point out some common problems that people run into when shopping for a used RV. So we're going to start off looking at this pre-owned. It's a 2015 model. And obviously you want to give it a good look over. But one of the first things I always do is come to these front seams and check and see if the caulking looks like it's cracked or pulling away. If it is, chances are water has gotten down in there. You're going to want to check a little bit closer. If so, come to your front storage compartment, check the front wall, make sure it's solid. Same thing with the floor. Don't be afraid to pound on these, because if water gets down the front cap or the seam on the roof, which we'll look at in a minute, it's going to come down this front and end up down here. So always check storage compartments. As you're walking around, look at the seams along the bottom, check for that same cracked or pulled away caulking. If the camper has slide outs, that's another big place you're going to want to look. Same thing, especially right down here on the bottom. This is an area where water gets in, rots the floor out underneath in the slide out. And this one, there's a little bit of cracking down here and some rusty screw heads. So we're going to want to check a little bit closer. Look underneath, make sure that the Darko under here isn't torn. If it is, that shows that maybe the slide out isn't running properly, or if it's gotten wet and swelled up some, that's also going to cause some problems. So as we come around to the back, check the same thing. Got some crack sealant here. You can actually see the line where it's pulled away along this side. So that's something definitely want to check. Make sure that wall's not soft. Check your seals all the way up. Make sure they're not pulled away from the structure. And same thing all the way around back. Check those corner seals as high up as you can look on the roof. Any other slide outs. This one here, we got a loose seal. But this one, actually, they kind of made their fix a little bit obvious. This stuff right here, that's that spray sealant that you see advertised on TV and online. So obviously they've had an issue in here and tried to fix it incorrectly, but they also gave us a clue that there is maybe something wrong with this slide out. So now we'll continue our walk around and let's get up and take a look at the roof. So as you're on your ladder or on the roof of the camper, you want to look at the membrane itself, look for any patches or tape, anything that's been left on it. And around every structure on the top, take a look at all the sealant. Make sure nothing's shrunk, cracked, pulling away. If so, make sure you check that area of the camper inside for water damage, because if water gets in here, it has to go somewhere. All right, so now that we've come inside the camper, the first places I always look are the front and back corners on the ceiling and the walls. Look for any pitting or little raised bumps, any softness, or if anything's crunchy, because these are the most common places that a camper is going to leak. That one actually looks pretty good right there. We're going to check the front in the same way. And for that, open up the cabinets, look inside, same thing. If anything's rippled, doesn't look right, smells funny, then generally you're going to have a water problem. Check your slide outs the same way. Check the corners of that. If you have to take the cushions off of dinettes to look at the floor, do that. Now, slide outs are notorious for sometimes trying to hide water damage. If we look at this, we can see that that trim piece is really loose. You know, if we put our foot on it, it's actually soft. That whole thing moves. So always check the floors. That's telling me that there's some water damage in this slide out. So if we walk outside and look at it, yep, that is really soft. And if we push all the way along here, see how that gives? Should actually be solid. That floor is rotten. So that would be something we'd want to stay away from for sure. Now, hopefully this short video gave you some ideas of what you should be checking if you're out shopping for a used RV. Not every dealer and every private individual is going to be forthright when it comes to issues with the camper, so it's always a good idea to take the time to look these things over. Now, some dealers like us, we're going to check that stuff and we're going to fix it before you take it home. But you can't always count on that with other places or with individuals. So always ask the dealer to demonstrate all of the appliances, systems, water system for you, and do the same thing with private individuals. Make sure they can plug it in and put water to it so you can check everything out. That way you know what works, what doesn't, so there's no surprises down the road. If you like our content and liked this video, please do us a favor, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss out on the next video to come out. As always, happy camping, and we'll see you next time.